because I'm very clear on what I'm doing here, and I'm not deviating based off of the actions or thoughts or opinions of other people. Okay, and I hope that you guys get that core conviction too. I hope you guys get that core conviction too. So I just want you to know, starting off, as I go into this side and this stuff over here, like, I know that my purpose is to love like Jesus. Okay, that's not like I'm not open to wondering if that was right, or like, did I pick the right? It's not about what I picked. That's Holy Spirit driven. You know what I mean? That's what it is. I'm programmed. I'm like a little bot out there, and I'm programmed appropriately, and I have Jesus living in me, and that's what I'm going to go do. Okay, and so part of doing that is, I'm sitting there and reading in John 6:66, and of course it's 6:66. You know what I mean? Of course it is. And if you guys don't know what happened, I know the ladies recently did John 6 like a week or two ago in their Bible study. We did it a couple months ago as the guys. And in 6:66, that's when it says, and then the disciples went away from him. Okay? And I'm not like a coincidence, like, yeah, I like numbers and everything, but I'm not surprised that John 6:66, okay, would be that people just went away from him. Now, it doesn't say that they sinned. It just says that they went away from him, okay? And there's something really powerful. And then in John 6:7, I believe he says, are you going to go too? Yep. Mm-hmm. You know, that's powerful. The struggles that you currently have and the blessings that you're currently experiencing too. I've seen some major life change from a lot of people. The way they walk, the way they talk, the way they act, the way they respond. Instead of react, they respond. And it's like, okay, cool. They thought ahead of time, and then they chose a response. And some people are doing it better than others, and that's always going to be the way that it is. There's no individual criticisms that I have for anybody. Like, if I'm coaching you one-on-one, it'll regularly be individual criticisms, okay? You'll regularly get those because that's what I'm called to do. But I know that all chapters end and a new chapter starts. And so I think about people that had an opportunity to walk with Jesus and they chose not to. You know, and then I think about, what am I expecting in my retention ratios? You know what I mean? I mean, if Jesus had the majority of people walk away from him that were standing next to him, then who the heck am I? You know, and that can make you feel really small really fast if you let it. But then it could also remind you that there's a reason that word was written. Like, there's a reason that there's certain Bible verses that are written to tell you something. And they're not to criticize. Nobody was mocking the people that went away. You know, sometimes we're like, oh, those people, they quit, they this. I don't ever talk, if you notice, guys, I never talk that way about people that quit this business. If you ever have hung out with me, I don't talk bad about people that were once here, because that was never the purpose, right? And you could define this several different ways, but for time purposes, I'll help you get there. We could define leadership a lot of different ways, and I have my definition, and I've heard other definitions. But really what we do is, in an effort to build leaders, we end up building a lot of followers, okay? And I do believe that. And so the goal is not to build followers, but the goal is to be a student and to follow for a period of time. I don't expect everybody on my team to follow me. It's okay. Sometimes they're on my team for another reason. And sometimes that reason is to teach me something. Sometimes they're on the team to help out somebody else. And sometimes I think that they're really on the team to annoy me, okay? I think that that's their purpose. I'm like, maybe that's their purpose in life, okay? But not, let me take this. That was meant to interject some funny into the conversation. Not that their purpose in their life, they were built to annoy me. I think that God's purpose of having them in my life is to annoy me. Okay, do you understand the difference? They have other purposes outside, but God's like, how are you going to handle this? Okay, you might not be good at leading couples. You may not be good at leading women or men. You may not be good at leading people that have a different political party than you. You might not be good at leading, and you might have somebody right there that symbolizes all of these things. And you're like, God, I just don't know what to do with this. And I'm not saying their purpose in their life has anything to do with you, but God's purpose for having them on your team at that time is to test your leadership. The key to being a leader is teaching people how to think. It's teaching people how to think. See, I could go up and tell you what to do, and then if you do them, you're considered coachable, okay? But I then have to tell you again what to do, because then you're like, Coach, I did it. What's next? Now, I believe in coachability, and I believe in following instruction, and I believe in mentor-mentee relationships and coaches and students and players, and I believe in that. And I believe that I've had many people that have coached me, and I'm so grateful. I was even spending time last week on LinkedIn reaching out to people that I haven't reached out to in 20 years. And I just was saying thank you. I didn't prospect them. I didn't ask them how they were doing. I just sent out thank you messages to people that made a difference in my life, because I feel like my life is going to the next level and the next level, and I'm excited and I'm grateful. And I'm really grateful because I used to be a broke little loser coming to meetings. I used to cuss people out all the time. Everybody annoyed me. I thought human beings were created to annoy me, all of them. I thought everybody was like the idea of closeout, the idea of runs, the idea of going for promotions, hated all of them. Every one of them. I literally thought promotions were created for things for me to miss. I thought it was like I never thought I was gonna hit anything. I was like, marketing director? I can't even get 2 people to listen to me. How the hell am I ever going to be a marketing director? Like, I want you to know, I remember saying, well, you know what? Prospecting is not just for me, so I'm going to go over here. And then I went over there. And then I said, well, phone calls, I'm going to go over here. And then I was like, well, maybe I'm going to do this. And then all I was doing, like, I've tried avoiding, I've tried fighting, okay? I've tried just act like it didn't happen. Yeah. What? Like, I tried ignoring. I tried like every single thing you could possibly do. Everything. And I mean with clients, with recruits. I've tried passive aggressive. I've tried aggressive. Yep. Okay. I've tried blocking on phone. I've tried deleting contacts. Okay. I've tried. I mean, guys, there's other things I've tried that came to my mind that I don't want to say, okay, where I was like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? And then guys, anything and everything, it was so hard. It was so hard. Like, those things were hard. The business was never hard. It was how I was approaching people that made everything so hard. And so, you know why? Because I never knew how to think. I never knew how to think. I just responded and reacted. I didn't even know the difference between reacting and responding, Ricky. They would go, you know, there's a difference between responding and reacting. I was like, what? Don't you just punch everything? Like, don't you just like I don't even know what you're talking about right now. I expect the office to be clean. I expect people to treat people with respect. I expect people to develop. I expect people to make money. I expect people to stop making excuses. But the way that you transfer that can be ineffective too. There's a difference between being right and being effective, okay? So you could be right. Like, I believe that Jesus is the only way to joy, and there's nothing you could tell me that's going to convince me otherwise. However, if I went and poked everybody on the forehead in public and said, hey, Jesus is the answer, loser, okay? That's not an effective way of telling them, okay? That will lead me to having truth and being ineffective in my delivery of it, okay? And some people are effective at delivering messages, but what they're saying is a lie. And society is full of that. Social media is full of it. Social media teaches girls how to be popular, not how to be respected. Those are completely different solves, okay? Social media, like, I watched my guys follow guys like Andrew Tate, okay? And worship guys that disrespect women, commit crimes, okay? Work out, talk tough, and it's like, this guy's amazing. I watch my CEO interview and get shine off of it. I've watched so many things, and all of it is completely disgusting and wrong. All of it is. But it's effectively delivered, okay? So it makes people feel tough, and it makes insecure men feel like they're on the right track, okay? When that is not how men are called to behave, all right? And I could give you countless examples in society of men that are mistreating people all around them, who are glorified in our society, followed, liked, watched, and everything like that. And that's nothing that Jesus would have done and behaved. And by the way, I'm not innocent. I've done the same. I've followed people like that too. Okay, so I'm not sitting here and judging who you like, who you follow, and everything like that. I totally understand. By the way, I understand when people get on Donald Trump's case. I get it. I totally understand. When people hate on Donald Trump, I totally understand. Most of the policies, I would do the same things, okay? I would do the same things policy-wise. Is there a better effective way of selling it to the people sometimes? Yes, I think that there's a better way of selling it to the people sometimes. And some people will say, well, I just want the right policy. I don't care in the manner that it's distributed to us. And some people will let somebody that massages them and makes them feel good completely ruin our country. And they'll say, but he makes me feel better. You know, but he's ruining my country, or she's ruining my country. And I want you to know something. I want to work on being accurate and right. And I want to work on selling it correctly and selling it the right way. I want to work on both. Like, I don't want to be both. I don't want to be somebody that speaks BS to you. Like, guys, if I was after just maximizing revenue, if I was after just maximizing, do you know how many times I wouldn't say certain things to you? I would just say, oh, awesome, that's great. See you Tuesday. You're a superstar. I'll give you recognition. Awesome. If I just wanted this office to get bigger and I just wanted our team to sell more, I wouldn't correct so many of the things that I work on correcting. Are you kidding me? Because when you correct people, all they do is hate you afterwards. Remember, in How to Win Friends and Influence People, okay? The rule of everything of dealing with people is never criticize, condemn, or complain. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Never. Okay? Never. People love you when you let them believe that everything they're doing is accurate and right. Okay? They will love you afterwards. If everything you do is like, dude, you're doing awesome. Keep it up. You're a freaking stud. They'll go, I love my upline. I love my coach. Of course you love your coach. He tells you your wrong behavior is right. Okay? That's the formula for popularity. That's not the formula for respect. You're solving two different things. Never criticize, condemn, or complain. Condemn is your dress code's not good enough. That's condemning. Okay? When you do that now I know that could be argued and everything, but I'm just taking the absolute approach. Okay? Like, I'm just saying, like, it's either this or it's this. And condemning is anytime you try to have people increase their standards. Hey, you need to cut your hair. What? You know what I mean? Yeah, guys don't do rollovers with people that look like you. Yeah. I was at a fancy place all day yesterday, and I could tell you how Dak Prescott looks. Money. Okay? He looks money every time you see him. People on his team don't. Yep. But the guy who's the face of the franchise does. Gets paid the big bucks too. And that's how you get the big check. You want to know how to get $60 million a year? Look at the guys that get that. Okay? Look at the guys that get that. All right? Look at the guys that get that. All right? Messi on Miami makes $80 million a year. $20 million from the club, $60 million from all the other goodies. Do you know that Miami, an American soccer team, is now valued at $1.5 billion?
They went to the White House recently.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I could tell you this. You're not hearing stories in the news about Messi anywhere doing anything with anybody. Okay. All right. If he's in the news at the club and all this other stuff, I can tell you this, the franchise value goes down. All right. It goes down tremendously. And so what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you don't have the right to go to a club. I'm not saying you don't have the right to have your hair or anything that you want a certain way. I'm just telling you that if you want to operate at the big boy level and you want to sit at a big boy table, there's both being accurate with the words you're using and the manner in which you use them matters. Okay? So